Emsee. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How
Yeah.
are you?
I'm good, man. I'm doing really well. I've been excited to talk to you about your journey and your place here in Hamilton hip hop. So getting right into things, what was the first thing that introduced you here to Hamilton hip hop?
To Hamilton hip hop? It's probably a little site called SoundClick. I believe it was SoundClick, yeah.
Okay.
Um, Initially, I went there just to get beats. When I wanted to make the transition from so-and-so's instrumentals on LimeWire, whatever was popular at the time, to trying to find something that was unique to me and something that nobody else had heard before. I went to SoundClick. I quickly realized that I wasn't just the only one that wanted to do this from the inside of my bedroom, right? When I typed in, hip hop category and then started to cut down from Canada to Ontario, then to Hamilton, I quickly realized there's a lot of people doing this. Really kind of made that pond seem real, and really realized I was far from what I thought I was.
Yeah. For sure. Who were some of the first artists that you were introduced to get into the scene?
On there, I saw Sick One and Kron's.
Yeah. Okay.
Stealth Elements.
Yep.
And Premium Plus. There was a dude named Principal Source.
Okay. Yeah.
I think there's another guy. He had the big song at the time. I think Candyman. I think it was Permashine or something.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That name.
I wasn't sure how to pronounce his name,
yeah.
But I remember he had, a Candyman song. I can probably still remember the words to it. You can't run from me, you can't hide from me, you're getting high off me, I'm the Candyman.
Oh,
something like that, right?
That's familiar, man.
I just remember that going around and just, it was whoa, people are actually doing it. From where I'm from, you think you're just the only one, right?
Yeah.
And
totally.
The internet was a big eye opener. So it just started seeing those guys, and at the same time, I'm in high school and starting to kind of talk to a few people about it, and they're telling me other people oh yeah, Kron's goes here,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right, that's pretty cool, and just kind of just searching more, right, and just trying to find more of it. And it was just around the time where it was something I wanted to do. At the time, I didn't have a mic or anything like that, so it was just kind of talking to people and getting more information from them, right?
Yeah, just trying to understand how everything works when you're first navigating it,
exactly.
Networking. Yeah, it's always interesting. Yeah, when you were first coming up through those guys, was there any particular shows that really was the next eye opener that showed you?
To be honest, shows really didn't come into the picture for me until I was already doing it and making music, and even then shows were just something I saw once I became Facebook friends with Stealth or something, okay, these guys are doing shows. But at the time, because when I first started, I didn't really have an in. I didn't know anybody that was a gatekeeper or that could introduce me. So it was I was kind of just starting making music, and had gone 2 or 3 years before shows were even a thing to consider.
Yeah.
And at the same time, just being underage, it was difficult too, right? To
totally.
When you're 16 recording your first song, it's kind of tough to convince somebody that you've got what it takes for them to let you in a 19 plus club.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Let me just risk my whole business to
let this 16-year-old go on stage
to rap over a 50 Cent instrumental. You know what
exactly.
I mean? Maybe one day, kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, similar experience too, man. Yeah, me and my friends, we were basically you're a basement artist, you're a basement MC for for us, we were doing this for a decade almost, and just spitting at friends' parties, and that's about it. What would you say was your first, your first introduction for youth to everybody else into the scene now?
It was late. It was very late for me. It was almost backwards.
Yeah.
Because what I've done, and it even just feels weird to say that, it's I feel the connection with the scene came very late after when I figured out who I was and many things. And my contribution to the scene or where I fit in, I feel it's very like unorthodox.
Yeah.
I started like recording in my own house. Like there's a story before that, but to keep it short, like started recording in my own house, and I'd probably had 2 albums done before like I was nominated for like a Hamilton Music Award.
Yeah.
And really started like mingling with people. I'd won like the classified contest and had a track like produced by him, like, and was focused on other things like video grants and things like that before. I was really like that mingled into the scene. And the thing that probably like kind of put me on people's radar was probably like the Canada's Got Talent thing.
Yeah.
Because like it was 2012. I believe this is around the time too when Steel Gold is happening.
Yep.
And I feel like that was a huge thing in the scene. But the problem is after my 2010 release, The Life I Love, it didn't do what I thought it was gonna do.
Right.
And I thought to myself, okay, this didn't clear the units I thought I was gonna need to make this like a living.
Right.
And that was like the first time I said, okay, well now I need to get a job to support my music, to be able to afford the videos I feel I need to really make waves and stuff, right? So it was like, okay, the music isn't funding my goals. I need to get a job so then I can fund, what I think the proper steps are, right? So work kind of became my main focus, right? And because of like, I guess you could say, the discipline, I've never been the guy to be able to kind of balance both. I'm very like obsessive, right? So it's like I hate like not feeling 100% going into work sort of thing, right? I've never been that guy to take that risk.
Yep.
So it was like, when like Steel Gold came and stuff, it was always on like a work night for me.
Yeah, Thursday nights.
And I was so cheesed because it was such a huge building block in the hip hop scene, and I felt like I really missed that one.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I really had was like my partner in rhyme, the dude who like has always vouched for me.
Yeah.
Was Transition was going, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like in a few years later, just having Transition there and stuff, and just word of mouth, that was kind of like a huge help for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So many people gain like respect for him through those ciphers at Steel Gold and stuff, and the connections he made, that the Facebook friends and everything he made. And then like when 2013 came, after Canada's Got Talent, and I'm putting out my release, or even when Canada's Got Talent was going on and he was like vouching, that cosign was like, it made a lot of people that were at Steel Gold but never got to see my face be like, well, if Transition's like behind it, he must be good, he must be dope. And in a huge way, it was like a huge building block, even though I wasn't there and he was going to that. I'm super thankful for it, because at that time, like I couldn't make it down there, right?
Yeah. No, he was always holding down the cipher. That was how I met him, was through Steel Gold.
And especially in that Canada's Got Talent time, where like, a lot of hip hop heads probably would have been like, come on, this is a pop thing. This isn't what we want in our scene,
Yeah.
But it was kind of like they gave me a chance, and they saw what I was trying to do. They're like, yo, he's actually spitting.
Yeah.
He's got good morals.
Oh yeah, man.
He hasn't fronted once.
Behind the scenes, everybody that I was talking to during that time, myself included, we were all pretty hyped about that. Do you feel that Hamilton hip hop stands out from its surrounding areas, specifically Toronto, considering it's the shadow that we're constantly under? But do you feel like we've got something that's a little different to that the world maybe should be taking recognized?
That's honestly a very tough one, and it's kind of like a yes and no thing.
Yeah.
Because I think about Toronto, and like it's like some of my favorite MCs, and just tracks that like I just vibe with all the time have come from Toronto. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's not necessarily like a Six thing or like a Drake-ish sound. Like a huge fan of Decisive.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Same. Yeah.
Atom Bomb. Like,
yeah, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of great talent and a lot of great MCs out there that deserve more recognition than they have.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
At the same time, too, when we're, like, always the ones, like, sort of overshadowed when, like, a big artist would come to town, right?
Right.
And, you know, we're getting stuck with the Thursday nights and the Wednesday nights because we just don't have the demand and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, our scene, based on, like, what's happened financially for people, you know, kind of touch on what Lee Reed had spoken about in a previous episode.
Yeah.
The difference of rent and stuff, that has a huge effect on it, right? And
big time.
The vibe of shows in 2010, you know, are a little different than the vibe of a show in 2019, because 2020 has been a little on a different side, right?
Yeah.
And people are kind of adjusting what's in their budget and making it like a rarity to come out, I guess.
Exactly.
Like, it's got to be like a big treat.
Yeah, there's got to be a real big reason to spend that kind of money on a, especially if it's not on a Friday or Saturday night.
Exactly.
You know, which we usually wind up getting stuck with the, at best Thursdays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, does Hamilton have a sound? It's a little tough for me to kind of like say yes, just because these last few years I've been taking my time with myself and haven't been able to spend too much time getting into it. I don't know. It's tough too, because if you would have asked me this in like 2012, back when I was just had a little bit more freedom, and maybe that does come with the fact that like I didn't have to work as hard to cover my bills and stuff, right? Like, there was a little bit more of a pocket. Things were a little easier. Like, I don't want to blame it all on that, but as an artist,
that it does have an effect, for
exactly.
For sure.
And I think everybody's scene deserves to be listened to in a sense, but I don't think we even need to go outside of the city. Truth be told, if we could just capture the ears of everyone, I'm sure everybody could really,
Which seems to be, after talking to a few people now, kind of one of the biggest roots of our issues as a scene in a community. We do have the support of our community, of the artists, which is great. But I mean, we're all artists, so that right there, we're all pretty broke for the most part. And so then we need just the actual we need actual people that want to follow and back the scene. And it's hard when you haven't had major label artists come out of our city. Right?
Like, that's the thing. If how does it have to happen for somebody to break through? I don't care if it's me, you, somebody, right?
Somebody.
But it's like,
because all it takes is for one of us to get through, and then the floodgates can kind of open up, right?
That's it, man. So it's like, what does it take for people to be like to throw an OVO fest in Hamilton sort of thing? Like, do you have to have a $500,000 budget? Do you have to have a video? Do you have to have a feature with somebody to really make people go, he's made it? That's Hamilton's golden boy or girl.
Because we really do have a great music scene here overall, and a really supportive hip-hop community here. That being said, I want to say thank you, man, for being a part of this. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being a part of the portrait series again. You were just talking a little bit about new project. Do you want to plug anything and where people can reach you online?
As for what's coming for me, there is an album on the way. When it comes out, we'll see. I'm going to try to hopefully get a single out or something in the winter. But other than that, you can just search or Google the Emsee, and that's where you can find me. But just want to say thank you to you again for
appreciate it, man.
The efforts you put into the scene, man.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it a lot, and hopefully these little things can keep building to more bigger